Hello everyone, my name is Anish Vijayan. I'm working as a teacher for last 13 years. My area of teaching is English and social science. In this video I am presenting you before the social studies lessons in a video format. I hope this may help the students, those who are studying in 10th class. In this video, I follow the syllabus which is followed by the State Board of Andhra Pradesh. First of all, I thought of making a video to help the students whom I teach in the school where I work, because they were all at home awaiting for their exam due to the lockdown situation that was going in our country because of the coronavirus infection. But laterwards, I thought of making this for all the students who are studying in Andhra Pradesh. Therefore, with that purpose, I made this video little more elaborated and uploaded in the YouTube. I hope that this video to help all the students, those who study in 10th class, in their studies. And if you feel or if you felt as if these videos are good and assisting in your studies, please don't hesitate to subscribe and click the bell button so that whenever I uploaded the new videos, you will be notified immediately and you can be followed the videos as early as possible. Thank you very much for your cooperation, and without much introduction, I would like to go directly to the lesson. The textbook consists of 22 lessons with two parts, lesson 1 to 12 in the first part and 13 to 22 in the second part, which belongs to the history. So let us begin with the lesson 1. The title of lesson 1 is the relief features. So let us begin with discussing what is relief features. What do you mean by the word relief features? Relief features means nothing but we see the surface of the earth is varied or having different shapes on the surface of the earth. Some places are mountains, some places are valleys, some places are plain, and some places we see desert, and some places we call even island. So these types of variations are meant by the word relief features. And this chapter we are going to see what are the different relief features that we have in India. And the first lesson or this lesson stands as an introductory to lesson 4, lesson 5 and lesson 6. So lesson 4 we are going to discuss afterwards about the climate of India, and in lesson 5 we are going to discuss about the rivers and water resources in India, and in lesson 6 about the people. So the first lesson stands as the introduction of these three lessons, lesson 4, lesson 5 and lesson 6. Relief features means the uneven character of the earth's surface. Okay, we have this idea or understanding about the relief features. Can you recollect what are the different types of relief features that you can find in Andhra Pradesh? So maybe you can recollect from the previous class lessons, and also you can observe from your surroundings. So what are the relief features that we have in Andhra Pradesh? And as we move further with the lesson, we have to look through different maps as available. If we have different maps, maybe time to time, I do show some maps as we are moving further with the lesson. Or if it is available for your personal use, if you refer, that will give you some more idea about the locations and the different relief features. Now let us look about something about our India and its position and the speciality of its location. India is located in the northern hemisphere of the globe, or we can say it is the northeastern hemisphere of the globe. And how can we say whether it is north or south? So we have already studied about the equator. The equator divides the earth into two halves, and the up halves of the globe is the northern hemisphere and the down is the southern hemisphere. So the location of India is on the northern hemisphere of the globe. And if you look, we can understand there is something funny, that most of the continent and most of the countries are located on the northern hemisphere of the globe. And if you look at carefully and make an outline, draw an outline on the globe or on a map, you can see that it is pictured like a cat playing with Australia. So that is commonly known as, or commonly says, that the globe shapes, the earth positions are shaped like a cat playing with Australia. Maybe if you can try, you will find out how funny it is. Okay, so the India, the location is very much important and it has some features. So the location of India provides with a vast diversity of climatic conditions. We have different types of climates. Sometimes we have a rain or rainy season, and we have winter and summer and different seasons we have. These seasons is caused because of the location of India. And one of the another speciality of India is we have different kinds of vegetations. So unlike other countries, India is specially blessed with all type of features or land features. We have desert, dense forest, and Deccan areas, and plateaus. Deccan means the plateaus. And we have mountains, valleys, snow falling, and such every facilities we have. And it is amazing that India is producing all types of crops. Any types of crops can grow in different parts of India. In rain and the summer, the winter, and different season helps us to growing these different types of crops in our country. And different types of life forms. Every types of life forms, or like animal, with the small types of animal to the higher types of animals that we can found in our country. And another one of the great importance in our location or the location of our country is the long coastal line. We have a long coastal line that facilitate the oceanic trade and fishing in our country. And also the coastal and the location of India near the Indian Ocean is also helps us to have the climatic change and the oceanic trading and fishing in our country. In class 9, we have studied about the longitude and the differences of time and travel. As we cross from one longitude to another longitude, there will be a difference in time. So when we go from India to America, there is a change in the time or difference in the time. Or when we travel from India to another Middle Eastern countries, there will be a time differences. So how these time differences are calculated, or how can a country fix what is their time? So let's see how the Indian time or the Indian standard time is calculated. In India, we have taken a standard time, which is known as the IST or the Indian Standard Time. Okay, so the central longitude that is passing through India, that is the 82.30 degree east longitude, as considered as a standard meridian in India, and the time in India is calculated based on the standard meridian, that is the 82.30 degree longitude, which is passing through Allahabad, as taken as the Indian Standard Time. And we have another standard time called Greenwich time. The Greenwich Standard Time is considered as the standard time for the world. The Indian Standard Time or the IST is 5.5 hours ahead of Greenwich Mean Time. So there is a difference of 5.5 hours difference in the time between Greenwich time and the Indian Standard Time. Indian Standard Time is 5.5 hours or 5 hours 30 minutes ahead of the Greenwich Mean Time. So now let us talk about the formation of Indian Peninsula or the geological background of Indian Peninsula. And before we discuss, let me ask you another question. What do you mean by peninsula? What do you mean by a peninsula? We have heard about this word many times, and also we have studied about the word peninsula before. So can you recollect? Yeah, nothing but peninsula means a landmass which is surrounded by water or sea in its three sides, and one side is connected to the land. That is known as the peninsula. All right. Okay. So some years before, some millions of years before, the geologist says that there was only two types of landforms. There are only two types of landforms, and that are the Angara land or the Laurasia and the Gondwana land. What are those? The Angara land or Laurasia and the Gondwana land. These were the two pieces of land. So let us just tell it some more in our understanding. Just imagine that in your class somebody having birthday, and to give a surprise you bought a cake to your friend, and one more friend to give a surprise, he too may bring another cake. So for a single person we have two birthday cakes, and after some time we cut this cake to celebrate the birthday. So just likewise, these two pieces of land which started to split into different pieces, and the Indian Peninsula was the part of the Gondwana land, And the Gondwana land originated through the geological formation and a process like withering, erosion and depositions for a millions of years. The formation, we are talking about the formation of Gondwana land, like how a cake is made. All of a sudden a cake appear from the air? No. That the baker has to take dough or the flour and mix it into dough and baking it. Likewise, it has taken many process for the formation of the Gondwana land, and after the Gondwana land was formed, the geologist says 200 million years before. 200 million years before, the Gondwana land split again into two pieces, or again into pieces. And one piece moved toward the northeast and called it to the much large Eurasian plate. That is called the Indian Peninsula. The Indian Peninsula splitting from the Gondwana land and moved towards the northeast, and it hit to another plate called the Eurasian plate, and the Eurasian plate was the part of the Angara land. See, when these two pieces of land collide each other or hitting each other, what will happen? Do you remember in 9th class we have studied that when two plates hit each other, one plate goes under the other and there create an elevated ridges of mountain. The same thing happened here also. When the Indian Peninsula, the plate of Indian Peninsula went and hit with the Eurasian plate, they formed a ridges of mountains, that is which we call today as the Mount Everest or the Mount Himalayan region is originated as the result of the hitting of these two land masses, namely the Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. Okay, so you now understand what is the or how is the Mount Everest formed. As a result of this breaking down, there was a large basin created on the northern part of the plate, and this was gradually filled with the sediments deposited by the rivers origin from Himalayas and also the rivers which is origin from the peninsular regions, or the Himalayan rivers and the peninsular rivers filled the basins, or the rivers, Himalayan rivers, we know that is origin from the northern side, and the peninsular rivers are origin from the southern side. So all these rivers deposited the sediments on the large basins, and through years it created an extensive plain, flat plain or a plain land, which is today known as the northern plain of India. What is the northern plain of India? So there was a large basin created as a result of the breaking down, and in this basin the Himalayan rivers from the north and the peninsular rivers from the south deposited the sediments and filled to create a large extensive plain, and this is known as the peninsular plain, this is known as the northern plain of India. The Indian landmass displays a great relief variations. What does it mean? Great relief variations? Already we know. Don't forget, what do you mean by relief features? That means in India we have different types of surface on the earth. Some places we have mountains, some places are deep valleys, we have desert, plateaus, and islands, plains, and these are all we have. So this kind of different types of relief variations variations we have in our country, and it is considered the Peninsular Plateau is one of the most ancient land block on the surface of the earth. It is considered, Indian Peninsula is considered as one of the most ancient land blocks on the surface of the earth. Okay students, let us take a short break here. We have just discussed the introductory part of this lesson. The main content we will continue in the next part. In this section we just talked about the location of India and different time zones and what is the standard time, and at the last we discussed about the formation of Indian landmass. So this stands as the introduction of our lesson. We will continue the rest in the next part. Till we meet, have a small break and have a bye-bye.